What's up everyone, my name is Matthew Dale, and in this video I'm going to tell you what has been my most valuable skill that I've learned on the guitar. I prefer to call this style of guitar playing solo guitar, but you might have heard it referred to as chord melody as well. And this style of playing has really been a big influence on who I am as a player, but I want to share why it might be really valuable for you to learn. Okay, so a lot of us are familiar with, kind of the umbrella of the two styles of guitar player, either, the rhythm or the chord player and then the lead player. But if you start learning elements of solo guitar playing or chord melody, you can start to blend those two, chord and melody. Now, I don't really like the term chord melody myself because I feel like it sounds a little bit too much like an exercise. I like the terminology solo arrangement, and by that I mean incorporating the elements of the melody, the rhythm, and the harmony all in one performance. So if I play just the verse of that song from the intro, If I Fell by the Beatles, within all of those chord shapes, I've got the melody note on top. If I give my heart to you. All of those melody notes are within those chord shapes. And although we typically lump this in a category of like jazz or classical or fingerstyle, it's really not mutually exclusive to any of those styles. You can do it with all sorts of styles. Like here is a pop song. This is A-Team by Ed Sheeran. And another popular song from a couple years ago, A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman. That's another good one in there. Now, although I am playing fingerstyle and I like playing a lot of my own arrangements fingerstyle because it makes me feel a little bit more like a piano player, it's not mutually exclusive to just using the fingers. You could play, all with a pick. Now, the first reason why this is probably my most valuable skill that I've learned is really kind of taking that for face value. I do a lot of work as a wedding guitar player, as a private party guitar player, background music, if you want to call it background music, ambiance, that sort of thing. Pick your name. But I work a lot as a soloist for various events. So learning this one skill and getting good at this one skill has been pretty profitable for me as a guitar player. And that reason's probably twofold. One, I've worked really hard at this thing, so I've had a lot of practice under my hands, but two, it's also a pretty rare thing for a lot of gigging guitar players to do. But the other side of the coin, when I started to really work a lot on being a guitar soloist, a bunch of things happened for my playing that were incredible. And this is really what I want to focus on in this video. When you try to arrange a song to play the chords and the melody on the guitar, you quickly realize that your typical chord shapes that you play and your typical scale shapes that you use to improvise are not always going to work. So when I started to practice playing this way a lot, I noticed that all of my chord shapes and all of my scale shapes started to just kind of dissolve into one harmonious fretboard knowledge, which is of course kind of what we all want. We just don't always know how to get there. On top of all the guitar knowledge that you need to gain in order to do this well, there's also a good amount of music knowledge that you need. You need to know a little bit about music theory, like what are my available diatonic chords in any given key, where is the melody sitting on whatever particular chord, like is it the root, is it the fifth, is it a chord tone, is it a non-chord tone? And then in order to keep your arrangements fresh and lively, you're gonna want some arranging tools in your toolbox. You're gonna wanna know about some cool chords out of the key to add in. You're gonna wanna know about some standard cadences and how composers in the past have ended songs or how they've written intros. There's a lot that goes into this. So it's really kind of a holistic approach rather than just learning a guitar part or a solo. It's really a holistic song approach to how can I put this song on the instrument, on my guitar, in order to have people listen and say, hey, I know that song. And that's usually a game that I play with my audience if I'm, playing at like a winery or something. We'll play a little bit of Name That Tune. Let's go ahead and actually try this a little bit. So if you know what these songs are, I'll play 3 songs. Go ahead and list them in the comments. So here's the first one. There's the first one. Let me know if you recognize that. That's an older tune. I'll give you a hint. It was popularized by someone that most notably played the piano. Let's go ahead and try another one. Try this one. I'll give you another hint. Same band is the intro. I like arranging their tunes. Let's do one more. So go ahead and put your answers in the comment space below. And back a little more to the topic at hand. Let's actually go through a song and I'll kind of give you an example of the things that I'm talking about here. So if we just take the tune Amazing Grace, can be a very simple song. The melody is pentatonic based. It's all based around in this case, I'm playing in the key of F. I'm playing in the key of F. It's all a pentatonic melody. And the chords can be very simple as well. F. B flat. F. C. And then back to F. B flat, F, maybe the 6th chord D minor, G minor, C, So a little bit of a cadence, 6, 2, 5, 1 on the end. That's getting a little bit into some extended arranging type stuff, but you get the idea. We can play that song with very simple chords, very simple harmony. But now, if I usually rely on bar chords, now if I need to put the melody to that, it's going to get a little bit tricky. So bar chord okay here. Now if I want to get that melody with an F, bar chord with that A note is going to get a little bit tricky there. So maybe I should move somewhere. I kind of like playing this using this little C shape. Now F7, that F7 is the 5 of the B flat. That kind of wants to pull our ear more to the B flat. So C augmented with our melody note in top. D7, which leads to G7, which leads to our C7. Chord substitution. B flat minor, a little bit of a borrowed minor chord. D minor, G7, G minor 7, substitution. And then some fancy stuff on the end to end it and make it really nice and interesting. So even though that melody is really nice and simple, and the chords can be simple, there's a lot more to it when we put it on the guitar as a solo piece or a solo arrangement, or if I want to play it without a band. Now, the way for you to start this process for yourself, if you've already got a pretty decent knowledge of scale shapes and some chord shapes, start to look for those melody notes within those chord shapes. So learn the chords of a song first, and then see if you can hear where the melody is within that chord shape. You're gonna wanna start this, as simply as you can, because really what you're doing is going back to some real deep foundations of music to try to learn exactly what is going on within the song, the chords you're playing, and where the melody is sitting. The next thing that you're really gonna wanna have is a pretty decent knowledge of music theory, and you can build a really strong foundation of music theory by downloading my 100% free, my free gift to you just for watching this video, my Essential Music Theory Guide. It'll be in the description below. This gives you all of the essential elements to really understand music on a deeper level. The next thing you'll need to really get good at this style is to have some helpful instruction along to give you more and more ideas for creating your own arrangements, or to start to think even fluently in terms of these chord and melody type arrangements. So stick around on this channel because I want to start adding this element to my channel more and more. I think it's super valuable, and I think you watching would get a lot out of it. If you've ever been confused on the guitar, if you've felt stuck within your own chord shapes and your own scale shapes, and you want to break out of that habitual playing, stick around on this channel because we're going to do this more and more and more. And of course, the thing that I say in my videos all the time, I'm here to help you play better, sound great, and understand more. And this style really emphasizes just all of that stuff. And the fourth thing that you need to really start to get good at this would be just nonstop trial and error. I know, I'm telling you to, play your guitar more, not always a bad thing, but the trial and error aspect of this, doing arrangements, getting this type of playing under your finger, will take some time and will take some, I don't want to say effort, because, we want this to be fun, we want this to be gratifying, but the practice of learning a song, the chords and the melody, and then putting it on the guitar is super helpful, and it gets easier and easier and easier the more and more you do it. So like I said, I've gotten so much value out of learning guitar this way and playing guitar this way that I think you will get a lot out of it as well. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment if you want to leave me a comment. My name is Matthew Dale, and once again, I am here to help you play better, sound great, and understand more. Remember that I have the Essential Music Theory cheat sheet in the description below, and I'll see you guys on the next video.